Welcome back. Congress returning to the Capitol and revisiting the topic of UFOs. Today's House subcommittee hearing on UFOs, what the government now refers to as unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, was the first in more than a year. NewsNation's Joe Connell live for us on Capitol Hill. Joe, you were in the room for that more than 2-hour hearing. What did you learn?
Well, I can tell you this. If you are someone who is not familiar with this phenomenon, with this topic, what you heard in there was bombshell. There were multiple people, witnesses, who under oath, and these are former military officials, some, talking about a program that exists within the government to retrieve crashed UFOs or UAPs that have been made by non-human intelligence. Take a listen to one of the exchanges that played out during this hearing.
If these technologies are not made by any government, who's making them? Private companies, or are you implying they are crafted by a non-human intelligence?
Well, ma'am, that's precisely why we're here. The problem is that, temporally speaking, over decades, not just the last 10 years, to put this in perspective,
are these private companies you're implying, or is this non-human intelligence?
It may be both.
Okay.
When it comes to Blue Force Technologies, I would not be able to discuss.
Okay. Are you read into secret UAP crash retrieval programs?
We would have to have a conversation in a closed session, ma'am. I signed documentation 3 years ago that restricts my ability to discuss specifically crash retrievals. I submitted for my book through the DOPSR process, which took a year for it to be reviewed. And what is in the book is what I was told I'm allowed to talk about.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
So those two yeses right there at the end, very important there. Now, just shortly after that hearing, that was Congresswoman Nancy Mace chairing this and really running the show. We talked to her after the hearing. This is what she said in terms of what she got out of it. So all of the witnesses today and last year, the same thing, their consensus was there is a program that tries anyway to reverse engineer craft that is of non-human origin. Given everything you've heard from witnesses who've said this under oath, are you convinced that that is the case, that that is actually happening?
Well, it's hard to say. We've had now 2 hearings where people have made this allegation, made this statement as a fact. And so I haven't seen I don't have the documentation. I don't see an actual physical vessel or a reverse engineered vehicle. That would be foolproof to say, yes, this is what's happening. But this, again, is just the tip of the iceberg. We've only had 2 brief hearings on it. There's more work to be done. I think the success of this hearing today will mean that there'll be more hearings in the future, greater investigation, and hopefully more whistleblowers to come forward.
So obviously, Nichole, a lot there, again, especially if you have not been familiar with this topic before. Now, of course, the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, they deny that any of these programs exist. Even the ARROW, which is now the agency within the Pentagon that is tasked with investigating these kinds of things, also says they've got no evidence these kinds of programs exist. Congress, obviously, they say they're going to continue to push and try to get more answers on this topic, Nichole.
All right, Joe Connell live for us there on Capitol Hill. Joe, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.